uncut, unedited. I got my main man here, Mr. JoJo from the city of Chicago, and he's going to talk to us about it. We're not going to be long. We're not taking any no phone calls this afternoon, but he wants to educate us. And we're talking about the Second Chance Month. And we want to give Teamwork Inglewood is bringing me here today to do this. I'm a navigator for Teamwork Inglewood doing this podcast, and we want to learn some things, and they want to learn the proper language. We just had I remember, I want to say this before. I called it justice impact, but he called it system impact. So introduce yourself and tell my people who you are and what you represent and what's going on here.
Thanks a lot for that. Yes, he introduced me as JoJo because I'm community minded and my goal is to bridge government and community. My official name and role is I am Joseph Mapp. I currently serve as the director for the Mayor's Office of Reentry. And speaking of Second Chance Month, it's the thought of how do we create opportunities for those who have been system impacted. And we had a discussion before we began as far as what's the difference in the language and why we strive to utilize person-centered language. So we know people are much more than the charge or the conviction that they was arrested for, but they're individuals who probably made decisions out of desperation. But clarity around why I use the term system impacted, because we recognize it's a system that's really shaped in a way that hasn't been affording our population justice for a long time. Thankfully, we have forward-thinking people like those who are currently sitting in a criminal legal system that's adjudicating on cases. I have a great relationship with a lot of the judges. But most importantly, it's the vision of our mayor, Mayor Johnson, who actually strive to show that Chicago is a second chance city.
Beautiful, beautiful. I know a lot of brothers just came home, went to prison back in the 90s, 80s as well, and the early 2000s too as well. A lot of brothers come home and they're doing well. I know a personal friend of mine, he did 20 calendar years straight, and he came home hitting the ground. He was hungry. He's doing well. You know, he had a little fall, but he's doing well, picking up. He's not back into the, criminal world and all that. So it does work. It does work.
Yes. Right. So my role, and thank you for speaking to that. So my role is to ensure that everyone returning back to Chicago has the opportunity to be successful in their transition. Really, we want more than just a transition. We want them to reintegrate back into society and their community. We want communities to be whole. The best way to do that, and that's one of the reasons I'm here at Teamwork Inglewood, because Teamwork Inglewood is one of our city-funded community reentry support centers. We have 5 of them across the city. So if individuals are looking for support returning home from incarceration, they can go to chicago.gov/reentry, and we'll have a list of our current community reentry support centers. And these organizations are led by people who are doing this work. Teamwork Inglewood, you do a podcast for them regularly.
Yes.
You're in the community with them. You see how they're impacting. That is the goal of this administration, to bridge community and government so we can have a synergetic approach to supporting people who are returning. One best kept secret, and I didn't share that.
All right, let me hear it. I want to hear it then.
I am system impacted.
Okay.
I have served.
I would never know it if you didn't told me.
That's why I'm sharing it, because I want to show people that how this mayor has taken a chance to give someone that has been system impacted an opportunity to really drive this vision home. And the vision is, I've walked that path that many people walk. I know what it means to go looking for a job and being told that because of your background, we don't want to hire you. I had one major company at the time when I worked in community. I was managing $1 million budgets, and I had a company didn't want to let me work in their warehouse, saying because of my past conviction.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that.
Wow.
I managed budgets at the time that was more than $1 million, and I couldn't work in the warehouse because they said they didn't trust me because of my background.
Oh, wow.
Not because of my ability to prove that I deserve opportunity. And for the business, the employers out there, please believe that this talent pool of people returning home, that's the talent pool you want to tap into. You want to give people opportunities because we have something more to prove.
I want to stop you in the tracks real quick. It's not getting off the subject. Now, I know I've never been incarcerated. Both of my older brothers were incarcerated, but I've been told that some major companies have contracts with the prison. You can work for a major company, Fortune. Is that true? Or something like that?
So I think
How that works? Yeah.
I think it's a lot of investment right now in Illinois. Illinois does not allow individuals who are incarcerated to actually work for companies while incarcerated. Now they have step down programs in certain facilities where they can leave out the facility and go work for. But as far as working while they're incarcerated, no, that's not the case.
Okay, that's why I want to be educated. I won't get on and put no wrong information out there. People are like, Mark, you're wrong. I could be wrong. That's why I'm asking right now. Thanks for educating, because I wasn't for sure, because I was taught that if you can work for a Fortune 5 company while you're behind prison walls, then why not when you come out here and work for the company?
So to be clear, around the country, there are states that actually have individuals working. In Maine, they have people actually working and getting a livable wage while incarcerated. So this does exist in certain locations. We would like it to happen here. I think individuals who are currently working should have the opportunity, because just like, and this is not a shameless plug, but we're doing Second Chance Month. We're having a reentry convening, and we titled it the other side of reentry. Because reentry doesn't start once you're released from a correctional facility or some carceral space. Reentry starts from the point of contact with the legal system. So if we begin thinking about how to lay out pathways and access to opportunity and resources, people stand a better chance of being supported and successful.
I got a personal question. This is off the record, Teamwork Inglewood. Nothing. When people see you and those that know your background, I'm not asking your background, and when they see the position that you're in, I mean, what do they say? Do they look? I mean, just tell me. Yes.
So I am thankful that I am sitting in this position where I can be the voice of so many who were voiceless, so many who didn't have the opportunity to sit or get the level of access that I have. So driven by that, that's why I lean into my past to create opportunities, not just for myself. I don't want to be a one-off, a unicorn, or something just to be paraded around as, hey, look at what we've done. And the truthful is, under this administration, that's not the case. This administration has driven fair chance hiring. We do that, and we partner with the private sector, governmental sector, and the community-based organizations to create opportunities. So it's not limited to just me. But when I go back into the prisons, and I do go back into the prisons, I have, and it's not just me alone, because there's many other people like me who've been impacted who are doing this work. We represent what looks like visual hope to the people who are incarcerated, that this is possible. My life is not limited to a cell, a blue suit, or inmate. But now I went from inmate to they call me director. Imagine what that feeling feels like.
And we're the second or third largest city in the country?
We're the third largest city in the country.
Man, great job.
And I partner with a lot of our municipal partners around the country for really impacting and driving what reentry looked like nationwide, not only locally.
Wow. Now, for the returning citizens that's coming back, now, is there a list of partners, community partners that work with the city that do hiring for people for second chance and stuff like that? I know the CTA one. I'm very well of that.
Yeah, we just attended the CTA Second Chance graduation just the other day, yesterday to be exact, when Mayor Johnson went. So this is how committed he is to this, that he's any chance he can get to support those who are returning, he take the time out to do so. And to answer your question about any of our partners, there's a couple of ways individuals can find out about it. We have what's called the reentry webpage. They can go to City of Chicago cityofchicago.gov/reentry. And we have a list of service providers that can connect them. Teamwork Inglewood specializes in workforce development, and they can connect them to a lot of employers. But Teamwork Inglewood is not the only one. We have UCAN out west and the far south side. We have Howard area up north. And also we've dedicated under this administration a women's focused reentry center that's dedicated to supporting women as they return, and that's Women's Justice Institute. So we have places throughout the city that's regionally supportive of this returning population.
Now, I know you don't know my audience and things like that, but what would you tell a young man or either a young woman that's coming out right now, just just throwing their hands up like, I can't find a job, I'm not motivated, my living situation. What would you tell a person like that?
I would tell them immediately the first thing to do. Our community reentry support centers act as hubs. Whatever services and support and connections to employment that they cannot connect them to, they're connected to a wide network that can. We want to make sure everyone have pathways and access to employment. So don't throw your hands up. I know it can be challenging. We want to get you that support. Also, I would say the stigma with our communities is we don't seek mental health support.
Okay.
We talk among our friends, or we'll probably smoke something to relieve the stress. And that's no judgment to those who do.
Mm.
But I would say lean into support networks. Make sure that's one of your primary responsibilities. I can tell you a list. The People's Liberty Project is a support network of system impacted individuals who are doing great work to create space. Walls Turned Sideways out west. Chicago Torture Justice Center on near Hyde Park. Just to name a Restorative Justice.
Mm.
Just to name a few. We have organizations that really create space. And as a matter of fact, my office released $600,000 last year to smaller organizations that was offering mental health support to returning residents. So we're dedicated about supporting people who feeling they're at that point where they want to throw their hands up.
Another personal question. How did you hear about the position that you're in now? Did somebody did the mayor come to you, want his assistance, or did your name was recommended, or, just personal?
So they posted the position, but I haven't been doing this work. I've worked out in community. Prior to this role, I spent years scaling up community violence intervention. I also was the director of reentry for a community-based organization over in the back of the yards. Precious Blood Ministry of Reconciliation.
I'm so familiar with that.
So I have been doing this work for years, and I volunteer my time. I would say to anyone, volunteerism is the way to become visible. When you're dedicating your time and your life to this work and you're not chasing titles or positions, opportunities will present themselves. And I'm thankful that Mayor Johnson has taken a chance with me, and I really want to prove that I deserve this chance, not only to him, though I am so thankful to him, but for the community that we come from. I want us to be able to imagine what's possible when we go in a particular direction.
Great job, Mayor Johnson. Great job on that. I mean, anytime when you reach out to the community, I commend anybody, for extending your hand, especially Second Chance. And this is Second Chance Month, right?
Yes.
Wow. We do serve a God of second chance. I believe in second chance. I really do. And so you said something that caught my attention, CVI.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about CVI, a little bit, just briefly,
Okay, sure. CVI stands for Community Violence Intervention and Prevention. The P just not on there. As a matter of fact, I am a second-year grad student at the University of Chicago getting my master's degree in transformative justice.
I'm sorry.
And that no problem. We all race out someone's reach. And the reason for that is because I recognize community violence oftentimes is misnomered. People think or they try to communicate as if people are just inherently violent or inherently bad. What it is a lot of manifestation of lack of access to the basic, the root cause. What we're getting at with the People's Plan, the root causes of violence. Also, we're thinking about the trauma that individuals have experienced that tend to manifest itself. If people are invested in and not looked at as risk, we can have a better, more whole community. And that's the approach we are taking.
Okay. I know. The reason why I asked you about that, because I'm familiar. I do CVI work too as well. And I know about the model, the interrupt, transform, I know about the model. We call it the puppy. I know, that's why I asked you. That wasn't
No so problem. It's intersect. What I want people to know, because truthfully is CVI workers along with the Chicago police and our other governmental departments have been able to last year drive crime trends down to its lowest point since 1965. That's something to be commended. But what I want people to recognize in that, 70% of the community violence intervention workforce is system impacted. 70%. So instead of looking at people returning from incarceration as risk, look at them as stabilizers of community. People that's ready and willing to drive and support healing in our community. And if we can translate that to the other sectors of employment to see what's happening in CPI, we can convince other employers to give them opportunities.
And one thing, working with high risk individuals myself, I learned that when they're working and they don't have time to do other things, man, you be tired. Man, you work an 8-hour job. You like, man, it take you an hour or two to get there, to get dressed, to get there. Then you get home and you wind down. You don't have time to, to really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in it to win it, you want to change. It's a new mindset.
One of the things that can help with that, and I appreciate that, you've identified them as high risk, and a lot of people do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's shift that narrative and say high promise.
Okay.
That high promise for success if they're thoroughly supported.
Mm-hmm.
If we can support them, most people lean into these opportunities. That's all they want is to feed their family.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they want is to have access to the things that everyone else has. If we create access for this population, that is the real drivers of taking crime to its lowest numbers.
Beautiful, beautiful. I noticed with the young people, I'm more focused on the youth, because I know they're easily to be influenced and out there. When I'm out there doing community work, and like you said, I still volunteer a lot of work. And you are so correct. When you volunteer, you put yourself out there, you be visible, people will see you. And that's how I'm able to get into the podcast, different rooms and stuff like that, because I prove my work. I have a love for the work. Money is right up there with oxygen. You need, you can't live without it. But still, I love what I'm doing. Actually, what I get paid for is what I love to do for free.
Yes.
And that's a blessing. So if I still don't get paid, I'm still gonna do it.
Because that's our passion. Our desire. When you have a love for the community, your goal is to really work toward making your community whole.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, I took away from the community.
Mm-hmm.
I am so grateful I don't have to live with a life of regret and remorse, but I can live one of purpose and passion. My purpose is to build people up, to create opportunities. So I wouldn't be the last system impacted individual sitting or serving in the mayor's office, but we can open the door. And to tell you the truth, I am building on what has been laid down before. So Willette Benford, who was the initial director of reentry under Lightfoot administration, but this Mayor Johnson administration revamped it and put a $5 million budget to it, gave me a full staff, and hired me to really drive this further. But she helped support fair chance hiring, where the city of Chicago has a 5-year look back. If your conviction happened more than 5 years ago, it won't be held against you, depending on the situation. And 7 years ago, to work in City Hall, I am taking it one step further. When you look at any new job posting in the city of Chicago, it will have that language on there so you can understand we're committed to that.
Wow, great job, great job. I'm so proud. Thank you, Mayor Johnson, for that. For reaching in the community. That's vital, very important. And, like me, I'm from the community. I always call myself a felon just to get caught. That's all. That's all. I was a felon, not just to get caught, for one. That's all.
Many people were.
Yeah.
Many people were. Can I make an announcement?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. So to think about that, how do we continue to build out this ecosystem so we can really support? One way we've thought about, along with our partners, is to host a reentry convening. This is our second annual reentry convening that will be hosted at Hope Center Foundation. That's on the far south side, and this April the 30th from 10 to 2 o'clock. We're inviting community members, business, the private sector. We're inviting departments, our city agencies, even the mayor is going to be there. Not even the mayor. The mayor is driving a lot of this work, really, truthfully. This is his commitment to it. He's going to be there. We're inviting people, if they want to attend, to go to our website, cityofchicago.gov/reentry.
April the 30th, right?
Yes.
Do you have an exact address right now?
I can pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up real quick, because, I went to public school, so I need a little visual,
But so what we would like, so we want to capture that, and we have capacity. We want those who want to support to go online and register. So we can make sure that people who are there will have the opportunity to engage with others. And also, we want to feed people that's in this space.
Okay. April the 30th, huh?
April the 30th.
That's coming up next what?
Next week, next Thursday.
Week, yeah, okay. So how many people you guys expecting? You know, just
So we're expecting around 300 people, give or take.
okay.
Oftentimes, because it's a long day event, sometimes people come in and out as they feel desired to. But we want to make sure this is an opportunity for those who are leading this work to be in space with other people who are leading this work. And most importantly, the most important people in the room are those who are system impacted. We want their voices to be heard. We want to make sure we're hearing them because those are the individuals that's really driving this work.
So you guys going to have community partners there too as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have a lot of community partners. CTA would be there.
Okay.
Community-based organizations from around the city would be there. Hope Center is a community-based organization that actually supports people in the Roseville area. What we try to do all the time, this is what I am leading this office to do, is ensure we have community voice, not as an afterthought, but as at the table with us as we design interventions for our community.
Okay. Make sure you send me that flyer. I don't have my sound here. But that flyer, I can post it pin it on my page too.
Yes, I will send it to you.
Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna send it to some organizations too as well. Okay, cool. You can send that to me. We'll exchange numbers.
Yes.
Is there anything that I forgot or you need to mention outside that announcement?
So what I would like everyone to do is keep tuned in. If you're not doing this work, connect to a community-based organization that is and see how you can learn about it. We have a lot of information flowing from our office. We want to make sure you're aware of it. As we think about the changes in SNAP benefits, many people were unaware if they go 3 months without being compliant, they can lose their benefits for 3 years. We want to make sure people are compliant in the ways that they can still support and feed their family. So I would ask you to go to the mayor's office website and look at all the information we're sharing about how to support and protect your benefits if you are a recipient of that. And if not, you can learn about it and share that information with someone who is.
Now, one more question before we get out of here. How does a person or organization get in contact with you guys if they want to be like a community partner or something? What would they do? They get in contact with you or directly?
They can go directly to the website.
Okay.
And we have our email address on there, which people can reach out. And we always have someone watching that email.
Okay.
But I would also always reach out to me. I would never stop that. But I also would say I would love for community-based partners to conversate and connect with one another. We want to create a web so people don't fall through the cracks. We want to know what each other is doing on the south, from the south side of Chicago. But it's important because I represent the city to know what the east side is doing, the west side, and the north side, and who's doing it and who's doing it well. Because I am very mindful not to send individuals to people who are just getting by.
Right.
We want to support this work in real ways.
Right. Because, I work in CBI, I have a lot of system impacted people. I work with them as well. I just say I'm one, I just never not. So I know what it is, and I look at some of the guys, and when they share this story with me, and I'm like, man, you don't look like that you've been through. You don't look like you did that or whatever,
Yes.
But it's amazing how you can have two different tribes, if you know what I'm saying, that we couldn't stand each other, couldn't sit in the same room together,
Yes.
But this work brings us together. But it transforms.
Yes, it definitely do. Don't get distracted by the phone, but I just want to show you something about how realities change, how those different tribes who we rarely sat around, don't say who that is.
Okay.
That we rarely sat around and came into space with, that we actually communicating and trying to drive this work in the right direction.
Right.
I really appreciate that. And first off, we just was misled, mistaught. We weren't inherently bad. We didn't hate each other because we found out when we was incarcerated, we can sit, share meals, cry together, and do everything. And we learned that those acts was because we didn't truly know or see one another. It's different now. We're a little wiser now, have a little gray on us. So we really view each other in a different light. We recognize you're not my op. You're my brother. You're my opportunity to lift one another up.
Brother JoJo, it's been a pleasure. I told you I wouldn't hold you long. I know you got a busy schedule. I appreciate you. Thank Brandon Johnson I want to thank him personally for hiring you. Thank you, Brandon Johnson. You know who I am, the crab chaser, Martin G. Johnson. Thank you for hiring this brother. And he has the love and the passion for this type of work, and that's what we need. We need more people such as yourself, such as myself, to do this type of work. And it's not all about the money. We need money, but it's also we have a love and a passion for the work. So thank you. You want any last words?
No, I appreciate that. I'm mindful of how people separate your passion from your purpose. Your passion is to give back to the community, and that's what you're doing. You're being a voice. Your purpose is to provide for your family and your community, and finances is a necessary route to do that. So I'm not saying you're self-centered if you put yourself in a position to earn to take care of your family, because that's all what we want to do at the end of the day. That doesn't mean they're exclusively separated. They can be mutually combined and still, long as you are not exploiting. That's the danger. It's not the love of money. It's that's the root of evil. It's how and what we do with money and how we exploit people to get it.
That's true. That's true. All right, we're going to end it right there. I mean, it was real short, as I promised. You already know what it is. It's live, uncut, and unedited. I'm here with my main man, JoJo, right? All right, right. That's his, street name. We call him JoJo, but that's not his real name. He's a professional now, but I can call him JoJo. So go ahead.
The truth is, man, Johnson calls me JoJo.
Oh, okay, really? Okay.
Yes, he's personable. Man, I really want y'all to know he's about the community, and I'm thankful for that. And I really try to create this space and community that I'm not held down by titles.
Right.
Feel comfortable calling me JoJo, because that's what defines me.
Okay, JoJo, I did give you a bump, give your handshake. All right, we're gonna end this right here, people. I'm gonna close out again. I want to thank Mark Mitchell, Associate Director for Teamwork Inglewood, for allowing me to host this podcast today. Thank you. Shout out to the CEO of the whole organization for Teamwork Inglewood, Cecile. And I just thank you, bro, JoJo. Thank you, Mayor Johnson, for allowing one of your employees from CVI, from Second Chance, come here and speak with us today, and I appreciate it. In Inglewood, doing a lot of great work over here at Teamwork Inglewood. We got a re-entry program. You already know about it.
We fun.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and lawyers on deck right here. Yes, so you know. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, just leave them in the chat. Sorry we weren't able to take phone calls. I left my phone. It wasn't intentionally, but time is everything. So I appreciate you. This is live, uncut, unedited.